Good evening, I'm Adrienne Arsenault. Tonight, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson sent to intensive care for coronavirus.
During the course of this afternoon, the Prime Minister's condition worsened.
What his treatment looks like and where it leaves the UK government.
I'm Andrew Chang. Also tonight here in Canada, dire warnings from some provinces. Supplies are running out.
It's serious. We're down to a week.
Why medical masks from the U.S. were delayed, plus new advice on whether you should wear a mask.
I had to tell them, sorry, I can't invoice you or else I won't qualify for this benefit.
The difficult choice for some workers who need government help but can't get it.
Helping kids make sense of the coronavirus.
When can I go back to school? When is the coronavirus going to stop?
Advice for parents, how to tackle those questions and fears. This is The National. Deep concern tonight for Britain's Prime Minister. He was the first head of government known to have contracted COVID-19. Now he's in intensive care.
Boris Johnson entered hospital for tests just yesterday, a testament to how quickly the virus can turn. Johnson's medical team confirmed he was conscious when they took him into the ICU. He was given oxygen but not put on a ventilator. Margaret Evans has more on the situation in London.
Leave a light on for Britain's Prime Minister. Boris Johnson was moved to the intensive care unit of this South London hospital this evening. A statement from Downing Street calling it a precaution should he require ventilation to aid his recovery. Johnson was diagnosed with COVID-19 last month, delivering video messages from quarantine, calling his symptoms mild and saying he was still in charge. But symptoms persisted.
Alas, I still have one of the symptoms, a minor symptom of I still have a temperature.
He was last seen publicly on Thursday, emerging from number 10 to clap for healthcare workers before returning to isolation. This morning, his Twitter account said he was in good spirits, and at the daily coronavirus briefing late in the afternoon, officials were still insisting it was business as usual, albeit from a hospital bed.
The Prime Minister is in charge, he's leading the government and giving directions as and when required.
Just a few hours later, the Foreign Secretary, Dominic Raab, was again in front of the cameras, looking a little shell-shocked, saying he'd been deputised by the Prime Minister before he went into intensive care.
The focus of the government will continue to be on making sure at the Prime Minister's direction, all the plans for making sure that we can defeat coronavirus and pull the country through this challenge will be taken forward.
But there will be deep concern here tonight over a potential leadership vacuum. Government strategy so far has been ravaged by critics and judged by declining public support. But Boris Johnson is also one of the country's most identifiable figures for fans and critics alike, and the shockwaves from this news will be deep. Margaret Evans, CBC News, London.
Now we have Dr. Taslim Nimji joining us right now, an emergency room physician. And Dr. Nimji, what does being in an ICU mean for someone with symptoms of COVID-19?
So there can be a whole host of reasons why someone would need to go to the ICU. And in general terms, really two of the most common reasons would be either for ventilatory support because someone's on a breathing machine or because someone's needing blood pressure support, for example. So medications that would help to artificially keep someone's blood pressure up because they're not able to do it themselves. So for people with COVID-19, many of the people that are being admitted to intensive care, it is because they need to be on a breathing machine because they're not able to maintain their levels of oxygen in their blood to what's required, and providing masks and things like that we might do in an emergency department just aren't enough. And so we need to move to that next step for ventilation.
And typically, how long could an ICU stay be?
So in general terms, ICU stays can actually be quite long, but when looking at COVID-19 in particular, we are seeing that that people do recover and come off a ventilation machine or a breathing machine, certainly, but mortality is quite high for those on ventilation machines. And really, we're looking at a couple of weeks and not typically long.
Okay. Dr. Nimji, thanks so much for your time.
Sure.
Here in Canada, the big focus today was on masks for frontline workers and for everyone else. For the first time, Canada is recommending the general public wear non-medical masks in certain situations. But healthcare workers dealing with COVID-19 patients need medical masks all the time. And today, provinces are warning supplies are running dangerously low. At the very center of that issue, a presidential order to U.S. manufacturers to not send crucial N95 masks to other countries, including Canada. But tonight, as David Cochrane explains, that crisis may now be under control.
We had 3 million masks that were stopped by U.S. officials coming out of 3M in South Dakota.
Doug Ford's day started with a lot of anxiety thanks to Canada's biggest ally, the U.S. interrupting Ontario's supply of masks in a time of crisis, allowing just 500,000 of the 3 million masks to go through.
It's serious. We're down to a week. If this 500,000 comes in, that will buy us another week.
Hard-hit Quebec was also counting supplies in days, 14 for gloves, just 13 for masks, while doctors are counting them shift by shift.
These PPEs have become like currency, where we feel like there's going to be a scarcity of it imminently, and it's very scary that we even have to consider that our health could potentially be at risk if this isn't available.
Those tallies added up to a health system crisis if Canada's U.S. supply got cut off, a point Canada made repeatedly to the United States.
There are very productive conversations ongoing, and we expect those shipments to be delivered.
The Prime Minister didn't make any threats, didn't hint at retaliation. Instead, officials pressed the U.S. and 3M to keep supplies moving.
I can also announce today that we have reached an agreement.
An agreement not with Canada, but with 3M, the giant manufacturer of medical equipment Trump targeted with his export ban. The president says he got what he wanted.
166.5 million masks for our frontline healthcare workers. So the 3M saga ends very happily.
A happy ending for Trump, and it turns out for Canada, as 3M issued a statement tonight confirming that its deal with Trump allows it to keep shipping masks to Canada, averting a cross-border crisis in the middle of a global one. David Cochrane, CBC News, Ottawa.
For everybody else who's been trying to figure out if they should be wearing some kind of mask too, there's some new guidance from Canadian health officials today. Salima Shivji explains when you should wear one.
10-minute face mask.
It's spread quickly.
And the elastic is going to go here.
A viral effort.
Just leave your needle in the down position.
To share tips for how to make your own mask.
These are really simple.
With more and more countries making them mandatory for the general public, even as Canadian officials were more hesitant. But today, a shift.
We need to do everything that we can. It seems a sensible thing to do. So I think we recommend that Canadians can take this additional measure.
Not everywhere, she says, but at the grocery store and on public transit, where physical distancing is a struggle. It's a significant change of policy on a message that's been shifting all week.
That gives you a full sense of confidence.
All that to say that it is a personal choice.
But for this ER doctor, wearing a cloth mask out in public is just common sense. He's been saying it for days.
If we can put this blanket prevention, it makes my job easier and my colleagues' life safer.
The new advice from Canada comes after the U.S. changed its mind.
It's only a recommendation, it's voluntary.
With the CDC now recommending Americans wear non-medical masks. And after more studies that show people who don't show symptoms of COVID-19 can still be highly contagious. For some, Canada's delay is a sign officials here are too dependent on other experts at the CDC and the World Health Organization.
It meant that we had quite a number of transmissions, onward transmission that resulted in community transmission that might have been prevented had we acted sooner.
Health officials here are very clear. Wearing a cloth mask is just an option, and it can't be used on its own without other proven methods to stop the spread of the virus. Washing your hands and staying far away from others. Salima Shivji, CBC News, Ottawa.
Well, the need for personal protective equipment may become more severe as the number of coronavirus cases in Canada continues to climb. There are now more than 16,000 confirmed cases across the country. Quebec saw the biggest 24-hour surge, followed by Ontario. But out west, cautious optimism.
British Columbia recorded a lower number of cases this week compared to last. While it is still too early to tell, this continues to encourage us that our collective action can slow the spread of this pandemic.
BC added 63 new cases over the weekend and 1 death. That brings our count to nearly 360 nationwide. But one of the biggest concerns remains new outbreaks in hospitals and long-term care homes. And one of the worst long-term care outbreaks is in Bobcaygeon, Ontario. So far, 26 residents, plus the spouse of another resident, are dead. That's approaching half of the facility's 65 residents. And CBC News has learned it took nearly 2 weeks for sick patients to be fully isolated from those who were still symptom-free. So, why did it take so long? Ellen Morrow explains.
The COVID-19 outbreak at Pinecrest Nursing Home was announced on March 20th. Within 10 days, 9 residents were dead. With most of the rooms shared by 2, even 4 people, the sick and symptom-free spent their days side by side.
If we had a 4-bed room, we would have 1 very sick resident, 1 we weren't too sure of who might be showing symptoms, 1 who knows, and 1 healthy resident with only curtains to pull around the beds.
Last Thursday, 2 weeks after the outbreak was declared and as the death toll rose to 16, stronger isolation measures were being put in place. Sick residents no longer separated by just curtains. An email obtained by CBC News says they were all moved to one section of the home.
It might have been effective, more effective, a couple of weeks ago, but because of the layout of our home and the way it's set up, that would have been really difficult to facilitate.
The home was understaffed, more than 20 employees themselves sick with the virus. Pinecrest was also full before the outbreak, tragically not so anymore.
Unfortunately, because we've lost people, there is more space. We have more spaces and more ability to move people around.
Become like family to them.
We asked one of Pinecrest's doctors about the home's response.
History may evaluate the response as slow, and based on a lot of what we know of COVID is lacking. Based on what we knew of COVID at the time, the home responded appropriately as best we could.
Ontario has revised its guidelines, now saying all symptomatic residents in care homes should be tested. That could be expanded to also include residents not showing symptoms. New measures now, too late for so many. Sarah Gardner fears what's happening at Pinecrest will happen elsewhere.
I don't really see any light at the end of the tunnel, but we just keep soldiering on because that's what we do.
Even as the heartbreak continues. Ellen Morrow, CBC News, Bobcaygeon, Ontario.
Across the country, we've heard officials say this is a critical time. These next days and weeks will tell us if the physical distancing is working. Will that curve flatten? Thomas Degla looks at how the fight is going in Canada's 2 hardest hit provinces.
From a bird's eye view in Quebec, it looks like the crisis just keeps deepening, with more confirmed cases than any other province, and now over 100 deaths. And yet, from the Premier today, a glimmer of hope.
We may see the light at the end of the tunnel, but we must continue to do everything we can to win the battle against the virus.
He's encouraged by the most recent number of hospitalizations, with only a small single-digit daily increase. Keep it up, and Quebec's Premier predicts the peak may be near. This doctor, though, says, hold the optimism.
If we see 2 or 3 days of declines, particularly in cases, then there may be reason to say we may have reached the peak.
Quebec may have more known cases only because it's ramped up testing, including at drive-through sites. But that doesn't tell the whole story. Consider intensive care capacity. Quebec has 164 ICU beds occupied, with another 633 available. Neighbor Ontario has 216 cases in ICUs, with 751 spots to spare. The trouble here is with testing. Not everyone who needs it gets it. Just ask Agnes Sokolovska. Without being able to get tested, she thinks she unknowingly got her parents sick with COVID-19.
I've been thinking over and over again, when did I get it from? And it's just killing me.
After working through a backlog in results, Ontario is ramping up tests. And the top public health doctor, David Williams, says he hopes it will show the curve flattening.
I'd like to think so, but let's stay tuned.
To be clear, there are plenty more cases to come. Across the country, COVID-19 is still bound to get worse before it gets better. Thomas Daigle, CBC News, Toronto.
British Columbia's chief medical health officer helped explain what appears to be a flattening of the curve in that province.
Our percentage of new cases, as you can see, has been slowing. It's been bending. It's testament to the effort that everybody here in British Columbia has been making.
Dr. Bonnie Henry says it was part luck, timing, and preparedness that has allowed the province to slow the spread, but went on to insist that now is not the time to ease up on physical distancing measures.
I ask people to be prepared for what can be some very challenging numbers as we look at the prospective damage that this virus could still do in our province.
Jason Kenney says he will provide projections tomorrow for just how bad COVID-19 might get in Alberta. He says the provincial peak is likely still weeks away, and so the Premier urged Albertans to stay inside, even though warmer weather and the upcoming long weekend may entice some to get outdoors. And some Canadian passengers on the Coral Princess cruise ship are headed home today. The coronavirus-stricken cruise ship docked in Miami on Saturday morning, but passengers weren't allowed to disembark until they were screened. Also, some Canadians stranded in India arrived home today in Vancouver. However, Global Affairs has admitted it will not be able to bring every Canadian back from there.
For Canadians who are out of work because of COVID-19, help is on the way.
The CERB is meant to help all Canadians who need it, and millions of Canadians will be getting it starting this week.
The Canada Emergency Response Benefit opened this morning and has already seen more than 642,000 applications. That's on top of the more than 2 million people who applied for EI. Within days, those deemed eligible could see money in their banks, up to $2,000 a month for 4 months. But as Erica Johnson explains, many Canadians still say they're left out.
Sooner or later, it all comes apart.
A music video with some big visual effects, some of them created by Philip Sportel, who says work in the film industry has pretty much dried up since COVID-19.
But this has just completely fallen off a cliff, and I don't have any work at all.
He's a member of the gig economy, contract workers and freelancers who need financial support, but says the federal government's plan, the Canada Emergency Response Benefit, doesn't cut it. To be eligible, your income has to have dropped to zero, and you're not allowed to have accepted any work for 2 weeks before applying. Sportel says that meant he actually had to turn down a $300 paycheck for some recent animation work.
No, I had to tell them, sorry, I can't invoice you or else I won't qualify for this benefit.
The rules don't work for other people who say they have to keep working, like this mental health counselor.
Like, this is where people need us the most, right? And it's like clients are, even more stressed and uncertain than usual. So it's really important for us to retain them.
This employment lawyer says he's fielding dozens of calls a day, from construction workers to Uber drivers, people who say the rules need to change.
Right now, there's a line in the sand. Either you make no income, in which case you qualify, or otherwise you will not qualify, leaving thousands, if not tens of thousands of people in a very difficult spot. And I just don't think that's acceptable.
Today, the Prime Minister acknowledged the many people not getting assistance, from workers in the gig economy to home care workers and university students who've lost their summer jobs.
For people in all of these situations, we see you. We're going to be there for you.
No timeline for that support was provided, but amid growing criticism, an overhaul of the program just announced is expected shortly. Erica Johnson, CBC News, Vancouver.
If you still have questions about whether you qualify or how to apply for the benefit, you can find all that information at cbcnews.ca.
Well, in this COVID crisis, stores have been hiring security guards to limit the number of people who can enter. And in Sherbrooke, Quebec, this weekend, one bore the brunt of a shopper's apparent frustration. He was hit by a car. Now, as Alison Northcott tells us, the father of 5 is fighting for his life in hospital.
With a sense of disbelief, Guillaume Jean returned to the Walmart parking lot where his brother was seriously injured on the weekend.
C'est l'incompréhension.
Philippe Jean had just started a job as a security guard at this store, making sure customers followed physical distancing rules, including allowing only one person per vehicle into the store. Sherbrooke police say an altercation broke out after one couple refused to cooperate.
Le couple en colère refuse de collaborer.
He says the couple was angry that the driver allegedly got back in the car and struck the security guard. Pascal Plamondon says he saw the security guard on the hood of the car.
La personne dans le véhicule a accéléré.
Then the driver allegedly sped up until the guard fell off. He's now in critical condition in hospital.
Mon frère, il y a 5 enfants chez eux, puis ils savent pas si leur père va revenir un jour. Ça, c'est pas normal.
The 25-year-old suspect, Nassim Koudar, faces 4 charges, including criminal negligence causing bodily harm and aggravated assault. With a growing demand for extra security to ensure people follow public health orders, the Quebec body that issues permits to security guards is now allowing people without formal training to help fill the need. A senior vice president of the company Philippe Jean works for says he doesn't think a lack of experience was at play and says all security guards deserve respect on the job, especially now.
The guards are risking their life to a certain extent by exposing themselves, by going to work and ensuring that everybody is doing what they're supposed to be doing. And we should honor that service.
Jean's brother says he appreciates the outpouring of support for his family, but he just wants his brother to be okay. Alison Northcott, CBC News, Montreal.
A new glimpse tonight of the horrors playing out at hospitals in New York.
It's emotionally hard to prepare for this level of sickness and suffering.
Next on The National, Trump's warning about the week ahead in the U.S. and, remarkably, a possible glimmer of hope.
When is the coronavirus going to stop? When can I go back to school?
Also, how parents can help kids cope in these uncertain times.
And the children of New Zealand have a question for their Prime Minister about essential workers.
Have you considered any exemption for the Easter Bunny?
We're back in 2. Welcome back. Americans are being warned to brace themselves for the scale of suffering they're about to witness this week. Today, the number of people who have died in the United States passed the 10,000 mark, and confirmed cases are now over 360,000. In New York, social distancing is extended to April 29th, and fines for breaking the rules doubled to $1,000. Katie Simpson shows us why.
Every patient inside this New York emergency room has COVID-19. It's one of 3 hospitals in the state fully dedicated to treating the disease.
I think it's emotionally hard to prepare for this level of sickness and suffering.
Reporters spent 3 hours inside, but had to stop multiple interviews because of this.
Code 99, code 99, code 99.
Repeated calls for code 99, which means a patient needs immediate help to keep breathing.
We're having, I would say, 10 code 99s every 12 hours at least.
Nearly 600 people died in New York State in the past 24 hours, a slight increase from the previous day. But overall, hospitalizations are down. So are ICU admissions and intubations.
Those are all good signs, and again would suggest a possible flattening of the curve.
Still, the number of deaths is so staggering, funeral homes can't keep up.
9/11 was horrific, but it was a singular event. What makes this harder is you don't know when it's going to end.
The mayor says the city may have to temporarily bury bodies on public land if they run out of morgue space.
We're going to have a rough week. We're going to have maybe a little more than a week. But there's tremendous light at the end of that tunnel.
The president's preference for optimism was undercut by a stunning admission from his top doctor. don't expect life to fully return to normal until there's a vaccine.
If back to normal means acting like there never was a coronavirus problem, I don't think that's going to happen until we do have a situation where you can completely protect the population.
Best case scenario, a vaccine can be ready in 12 to 18 months, though some experts say that prediction is ambitious. Katie Simpson, CBC News, Washington.
Japan is set to call a state of emergency in Tokyo and beyond, one of the first countries where coronavirus spread. The number of cases has remained relatively low, but as Sasha Petrosic tells us, a new surge in the world's biggest city certainly has people worried.
In Tokyo, pedestrians fill intersections, young people celebrate canceled classes amid the cherry blossoms. There's no social distancing here. Many consider Japan's high personal hygiene enough to keep the coronavirus at bay. We're careful about being clean, he says. The number of infections and deaths has been much lower than elsewhere, except that's changing, especially in Tokyo, where a bad week jolted Prime Minister Shinzo Abe to say he'll declare a month-long state of emergency. We need to convince citizens to minimize contact, he says. Japanese officials had put their faith in detective work instead of widespread testing.
We closely observed this outbreak since the very small numbers of clusters, and we can identify most of them, and we could contain them and minimize the delay the extent of the outbreak.
But many experts are skeptical.
My guess is that there will be an overshoot, an explosion in the transmission. So we have to be very careful.
Out on the street, Toshio Baba agrees. He's 85 and hasn't been out in weeks, afraid of infection. With no treatment, older people don't have a chance, he says. We need a lockdown. That is coming, though. Even Japan's lockdown will likely look different from those elsewhere, looser. Its laws provide for orders to stay put, but no penalties for those who disobey. Sasha Petrosic, CBC News, Tokyo.
And we've got lots more coming your way after the break. Our doctors taking your questions, including, can mosquitoes spread the virus? Good question as warmer weather comes our way. Don't go anywhere. Hey, welcome back. You have not stopped sending us your COVID-19 questions, so we are not going to stop answering them. Tonight, we have two doctors joining us, Dr. Taslim Nimji, an ER physician, and Dr. Isaac Bogosh, an infectious diseases specialist. Hello to the two of you. Let's get right to the questions because we've got more than a few of them to answer. This one's for you, Dr. Nimji. With the warmer weather, can I get together with friends if we all stay 2 meters apart?
Gonna go with a no. This is not in the spirit of what we're trying to do. Stay home. Don't hang out with your friends.
Simple as that. Okay. Dr. Bogosh, next one's for you. Speaking of the warmer weather, of course, can mosquitoes spread the virus? That's an interesting one.
Yeah, that's a great question. And, certainly we're going to see more and more mosquitoes in the warmer months ahead. We have to remember that this is a respiratory virus. There are many other respiratory viruses like influenza and RSV and parainfluenza, and the list goes on and on and on. None of these other respiratory viruses, including the coronaviruses that we know of, are transmitted through mosquitoes. So I think it would be extremely unlikely that this one is.
Okay, good to know. Dr. Nimji, this next question I've had, particularly in a hospital setting, so maybe you can answer. Can you reuse a paper or N95 mask if you disinfect it somehow, like put it in the microwave?
So certainly not if you put it in the microwave. I wouldn't try that experiment at home. We are looking at all kinds of methods that we could employ really for preservation of our PPE supplies. And hospitals are looking at how they might reprocess these masks using evidence-based methods to do so, to ensure that if we're reusing them, we're doing so safely. So this isn't something you'd want to try to do at home.
And what are the methods? I mean, do you steam them or what do you do?
So we're looking at processing with UV light, for example, as one of the things being done. And there's sort of a technical and complicated process to do so. And really, we're really in the early stages, and this would be a last resort for us.
Okay, next question, Dr. Bogosh, for you. We keep hearing about infection through the eyes, nose, and mouth. What about ears?
Oh, that's a great question as well. You know, certainly the ears are a mucous membrane, and, you know, certainly it could theoretically be possible. I think if we were going to make a list of the order of probability of which mucous membrane this is going to come in on the head, let's keep it there, the ears would be last. But I guess it's possible. It is a mucous membrane.
Okay, interesting. Dr. Nimji, does it help to hold my breath when I have to pass someone within 2 meters?
So, I mean, really no one's been able to do studies and tests on this, but ideally, I think what's most important is that you're keeping your 2 meter distance. And if you are, you don't need to hold your breath. You can breathe. Just keep your distance.
Okay. Dr. Bogosh, we've got time for one more quick question. It seems age and medical history determine how seriously you get sick. But is there more to explaining why some people get so sick and others not at all?
Yes, there certainly is more than meets the eye here, because sadly we've seen, you know, some young people, luckily it's not common, but some young people get sick, and certainly not all elderly people get sick. Some people take a tough path and other people recover. So there are likely other genetic factors that are playing a role here, and there's likely basically a dance between the virus and someone's immune system and how they interact together that will really determine which path someone goes down.
Right. Really fascinating answers tonight, as every night. Dr. Bogosh, Dr. Nimji, thanks so much.
Thank you.
So we do this every night. If you've got questions for our doctors, send them in. You can message us directly on Instagram at CBC The National, or you can send us an email at covid@cbc.ca.
Next, the new back to school for millions of students, teachers, and parents today. Plus,
she's just started sobbing and saying, I don't want to go to heaven. I don't want to be alone without you guys.
kids have real concerns about COVID-19, so what you can do to help them cope during a pandemic. But first, as we go to break, we ask Canadians, what's keeping you up at night? So here's tonight's Pandemic Diary.
My name is Sarah Medina. I'm 12 years old, and I'm in grade 7 French immersion. Today was the first day of online school. It was a bit challenging because we only have one computer in this house, and there's 5 of us, so we all need to share it. COVID-19 is scary, and I feel very separated because I don't get to see my friends as much anymore. Sebastian! Lately, I've been spending a lot of time with my brother and sister, who can be a little annoying at sometimes. The thing that I miss the most is my grandparents.
I'd love to show you a hug.
Now that the COVID-19 has come, I don't get to spend a lot of time with them. The thing that worries me most is that my mom and dad get sick. If they get sick, who's gonna take care of me, my brother, and my sister? The thing that gives me the most hope is everyone. The hospitals are taking care of us, and the scientists are trying to find a cure. COVID-19 sucks, but we're gonna get through this together.
COVID-19 may have closed schools across the country, but classes go on. At-home learning programs already running in Alberta have now launched in Ontario and Prince Edward Island, but not without problems. Deanna Sumanak-Johnson explains.
Ontario's premier was reasonably hopeful about at least one thing today, that students will hit the books.
It is critical that during this time, kids keep learning. Education must continue.
Though it's not learning as usual. Some families have been given computers for their kids, but if you live in rural Ontario, as our interview showed, there's no fast fix for slow internet.
I feel like we're at a disadvantage because we don't have internet that works in a reliable way. And I feel bad for my kids because I wish they could get the full experience.
In the home of the Allens, 6-year-old twins are back to grade 1 online.
I feel like I say over and over and over again throughout the day, like, I'm only one person,
I can only do one thing at a time.
In between assisting them, their parents, both teachers, are trying to do their own work.
I can't imagine an activity that one of my children's teachers could assign that they would do completely on their own. That's just not possible.
But at least she can make her kids attend their online classes. Those teaching older kids have noticed lower engagement since grades are not being docked for not attending, at least for now.
One of my students today for the online session I had, she was asking me how is attendance really going to be marked? Is it going to be showing up on a report card as usual? And I couldn't give her an answer.
But problems aside, this professor of education says the key is to keep kids involved and doing the work.
Inevitably, if we move towards a set of expectations that are mandatory, it's going to be punitive towards some kids who are not in a position for any number of reasons to take full advantage of those resources.
Since we're not going to be presenting it in school,
Still, this is just day one on the steep learning curve that teachers, students, and parents are on together. Deanna Sumanak-Johnson, CBC News, Toronto.
And teachers themselves are up against it too during this crisis as they try to do an already tough job without their regular daily resources. But as one Toronto teacher and her student shows us, where there is a will, there is always a way.
My name is Maria Damakis, and I'm a grade 2 teacher at C.D. Farquharson Junior Public School in the Toronto District School Board.
Okay, Smart Sharks, I would love for you to write a letter to me this week as one of your language activities.
I think this is really important because, firstly, we want to make sure that we are connected with our students and they know that we are here for them.
I really miss all of you. How are you doing? I'm doing well, and so is my family.
My name is Lavanya Bhatta. I am in grade 2 with Mrs. Damakis at C.D. Farquharson Junior Public School.
I know that it feels a bit hard or even scary that we can't go anywhere, but if we all stay home, COVID-19 can go away faster.
Since school has been closed, I feel sad and I miss seeing my friends and teachers.
We realize this is a stressful time for many families and they have a lot of questions, so we are here to answer them and support them every step of the way. At the end of this, I hope my class will know that we are still part of a team. Even though we can't be together in our classroom at school, we can still have a lot of fun learning and working together in our online classroom.
Now, despite efforts to normalize the situation, like getting back to the books, COVID-19 has already emotionally hit homes hard across the country. And some kids are really struggling, despite their parents' best efforts. Calls to kids' helplines are soaring. Joanna Remiliotis looks at how one worried family is coping.
It helps when the sun is out, when the kids can play outside and chase away their fears. Carmen Orozano says the outbursts are sudden and heartbreaking, like the time her daughter Emma broke down at bedtime.
She just started sobbing and saying, I don't want to go to heaven. And then she just said, I don't want to be alone without you guys. And
how to help children cope in these uncertain times. It's a struggle as they keep looking for answers and keep searching for a sense of safety.
It's sad. And I didn't say a lot. I just kind of hugged her and said, you know, it's going to be okay.
This is a new frontier, and for many young people, a scary one.
How are the calls going? So we are doubling and doubling again.
Catherine Hay runs Kids Help Phone. It's getting nearly 2,000 calls a day.
We hear fear. They're afraid for their friends. They're worried about their mom and dad. They're worried about their sister, brother.
Traffic on the website is also soaring. Fear is driving it all. Last week, the number of kids in crisis spiked.
Serious conversations, suicide conversations. We did 12 active rescues on Sunday afternoon.
It is sobering. However resilient kids generally are, they can be so vulnerable when some of their familiar anchors are gone.
When is the coronavirus going to stop? When can I go back to school? Why are people so scared about the coronavirus?
Those are the kind of questions Leanne Matlow tries to answer on community talks she's been giving.
If your child asks you, what can I do?
Matlow is a counselor who specializes in child and adolescent anxiety. Her key piece of advice to parents: don't call this the new normal.
This is not a permanent state. It's okay to be angry, frustrated, scared, nervous, worried. I think sometimes as parents, we forget that sometimes our job is just to listen.
Yeah, good job.
With a new baby on the way, Orozano is trying to keep positive too.
Try to think about what we can do when everything ends. It seems to help.
It's one day at a time, and on a sunny day, a brighter future can seem a little closer. Joanna Brumeliotis, CBC News, Hamilton, Ontario.
Okay, here's a question someone sent us. Can you get COVID-19 simply by talking to someone, even if they don't cough or sneeze? We're going to take it on right after the break, but first. Bells toll in an empty church in Humboldt, Saskatchewan, to honor the 16 lives lost in the Humboldt Broncos hockey team bus crash 2 years ago. A public memorial canceled by the pandemic.
It's harder.
Scott Thomas is mourning his son Evan in private with his wife and daughter.
We would have been surrounded by immediate family. I'm sure my mom and dad would have been with us today, and we probably would have been out to the crash site. Now, yeah, we're at home in our own space and doing things that Evan would have been involved in.
The message from the Prime Minister to all those whose lives changed forever: we're here for you.
You remind us that together we can get through even the darkest of times.
I'm Jamie Plesseau, and tomorrow on CBC's daily news podcast Front Burner, a look inside Vancouver's downtown east side and how residents there are dealing with two public health crises: overdoses and COVID-19. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Well, every night of our program, we've been bringing you quick how-to guides based on some of the most common COVID-19 questions that you send in. Tonight, it's a simple question with a not-so-simple answer, all about one particular way the virus might spread. When someone looks sick, coughing or sneezing, we know enough to stay away. But can you be infected with COVID-19 just by talking to someone, even if they seem healthy? Well, we know in the majority of cases, the way this virus spreads is through fresh droplets, the kind that explode outwards when you cough or sneeze. But strictly speaking, talking, even breathing, expels droplets.
Even though if someone's not coughing or sneezing, we're still unintentionally spitting and getting little bits of saliva out of our mouths and into the world around us, whether we think we are or not.
And there is evidence of asymptomatic spread, meaning a person could feel completely fine and yet still be infected and still spread the virus. Hence, the repeated call for people to physical distance from each other, not just those who are sick.
Next on The National, two workers deemed essential by the New Zealand Prime Minister.
Have you considered any exemption for the Easter Bunny?
You really don't want to miss our moment. That's next.
If we put that tooth under the pillow and call the tooth fairy in, are we breaking social distancing and social isolation rules?
Well, there's a good question that some kids and many parents have this spring. In a world of physical distancing, the Tooth Fairy and the Easter Bunny, are they exempt from the rules? Well, New Zealand's Prime Minister has heard that question from kids worried that their Easter egg hunt could be cancelled, and today she offered some good news, and that is our moment.
The Easter Bunny? The Easter Bunny. Have you considered any exemption for the Easter Bunny? Because, of course, it would be breaking the bubble of many families.
Yes, you'll be pleased to know that we do consider both the Tooth Fairy and the Easter Bunny to be essential workers. But as you can imagine at this time, of course, they're going to be potentially quite busy at home with their family as well and their own bunnies. And so I say to the children of New Zealand, if the Easter Bunny doesn't make it to your household, then we have to understand that it's a bit difficult at the moment for the bunny to perhaps get everywhere. But I have a bit of an idea that maybe in lieu of the bunny being able to make it to your home, you can create your own Easter hunt for all the children in your neighbourhood. Maybe draw an Easter egg and pop it into your front window and help children in your neighbourhood with their own Easter egg hunt, because the Easter bunny might not get everywhere this year.
Well, I love that. I mean, besides just being an adorable way to communicate that sort of a message to kids who are watching, what a great idea. I mean, just go for a walk 2 meters away from everyone. You see those painted, drawn eggs in the windows, and you're set.
And of all the things that I didn't know could ever be a thing, this has become a thing. Kids in Ireland and Australia are asking the same thing. The woman you heard right there, Ruth, wants to hear it from the Prime Minister of Canada too, because her little guy has 4 wiggly teeth, and he is understandably very concerned about the tooth fairy, as are we. That is a national for April the 6th. Good night.
Good night.